Namaste, good morning. Okay, day 4, where our focus is on administrative areas. Okay, I'm going to make you write a lot today so that we are clear about some things. In our administrative area, 10 marks max is what I see, which can be any of the things. Apart from doing administrative area today, I want to brush across all the case laws so that with today we are over with the direct taxation part of it, leaving day after tomorrow for indirect taxes. I'm sorry, international taxes. So in our administrative area, what type of questions, where are the questions going to come from? That's what is our focus for the day. I start with the filing of returns. Okay, a question which is also part of RTP, also part of our general question. Specify whether the following assessees are required to file their income tax returns. I'm there in page number 38. I'm there in page number 38, friends. Specify whether the following assessees are required to file their tax returns. Mr. A, aged 31 years, whose turnover is 70 lakhs for the financial year 22-23, and whose total income is 2 lakhs. This is the first year of his business. He has no other income. He is not claiming any deduction under chapter 6AA or 6A or 10AA. Well, before going into the answer, let me give you an heads up on this. Normally, who should file their income tax returns? In the case of firms, companies, no option. Firms, companies, firms include LLP. Okay. In those cases, there is no option. They have to mandatorily file their return of income. We call that by a statement if they are incorporated and not dissolved. If they are incorporated and not dissolved, they need to file their return irrespective of operation. I incorporated on 30th March. One day nothing, no operation and all. From April, May only I get my, but for the year ended 31st March, you need to file your first return. So there is no option for them. In case of trust, other things, if their total income before claiming exemption exceeds the limit, you have to file the return. Otherwise, it is now even considered that you cannot claim exemption if you don't file your return. In the case of individuals and HUF, there was a particular benefit which was available, where the income before claiming deduction under chapter 6A, before claiming exemption under section 54, exceeds the maximum amount not chargeable to tax, which is basic exemption limit, then they have to file their returns. Now, in this case, Mr. A is having a total income of only 2 lakhs. He is not claiming any of these things. Normally, he is not liable to 54. Normally, he is not liable to file his return of income. But then, his turnover for the financial year is 70 lakhs. His turnover for the financial year is 70 lakhs. Okay. So, I am taking you to that exception provision. That is, this year we have this answer. Okay. as per section 139 1B, an individual is required to file his return if his total income before charging chapter 6A and 10AA exceeds the basic exemption limit. In this case, it is only 10 lakhs. However, we are speaking about an exceptional circumstance. However, a person referred under section 139 1B who is not required to file because of his total income, okay, will be required to file if his turnover exceeds 60 lakhs. If his turnover exceeds 60 lakhs. So in this case, you can see that the turnover is 70 lakhs. Normally, he is not liable to file his return. But since his turnover has exceeded in the workshop, in the mari conditions, okay, electricity bill, if it exceeds 1 lakh, if you are depositing in a bank account, these are some of the circumstances. Foreign travel expenses 2 lakhs, either for yourself or for some other person you have spent. In these cases, even though your gross total income has not exceeded the basic exemption limit, still you are liable to file your return of income. Okay, so can we quickly answer question number 23(1)? Okay. According to the general provision of income, according to the general provision of income criteria, according to the general provision of income criteria, assessee is not liable to file his return of income. Assessee is not liable to file his return of income. Full stop, continue. However, the turnover has exceeded the prescribed limit. The turnover has exceeded the prescribed limit, that is 60 lakhs. Hence, mandatory to file return. Raja, can you send in the material? So, can you send in the material? Second question. Mr. Ashish, aged 42 years, has a gross receipt of 5 lakhs from his profession and profits and gains 2.5 lakhs computed from his profession for 22-23. In addition, he has interest on 4 lakhs and 50,000 on savings deposit. Yes, he need to file his return of income. Income before providing chapter 6A has exceeded. You can see 2.5 plus 4 plus 0.5. Okay, 7 lakhs it is. Okay, maybe he has 150 of ATC and he might get some 10,000 from your savings bank interest. Another 40,000 if he might not be paying tax. 5 lakhs rebate, but if the income before providing chapter 6A deduction has exceeded, yes, mandatory to file return. Yes, mandatory to file return as the income before before giving deduction under chapter 6A, before giving deduction under chapter 6A has exceeded BEL. Am I clear? Okay. For additionally, I am saying you in these two cases, almost the due date will be 31st July. Because it's not a tax audit case unless the turnover is going to be or the income is going to be less than 8% or 6%. Okay, maybe. Okay, that's an additional answer. Messrs. ABC and Co. a law firm. நீங்க அதுக்கப்புறம் படிக்கவே வேணும். Firms and company, irrespective of their operations, irrespective of anything, they have to mandatorily file their return. Okay, mandatory filing. Fourth, Mr. B, the partner of the firm, but not deriving any income from the firm, he has personal loss in his share trading business. Mandatory filing. Okay, otherwise your carry forward benefit is lost. Mandatory filing. What are all? If you have lost, mandatory filing. If you have refund, mandatory filing. Unless you file your refund, claim your refund, they will not provide you the refund. So mandatory filing. XYZ Private Limited company, mandatory filing. Mandatory filing. They are not coming under that electricity guidelines. Okay. Mr. Valish, aged 58 years, who had deposited 50 lakhs in his savings bank account with State Bank of India on 28th March 23. The said sum was received as a gift from his son Rishi, aged 30 years, who is employed in a company. Mr. Valish used the sum to purchase an apartment for 30 lakhs for self-residence. The balance money was transferred to a 1-year fixed deposit. Mr. Valish does not maintain any other bank account. He is not in receipt of any other source of income other than interest on fixed deposit. Other than interest on fixed deposit. Please understand, okay, please understand, where an individual makes a deposit in the bank account exceeding 50 lakhs, okay, panic 50 lakhs. Exceeding 50 lakhs. Okay, exceeding 50 lakhs, he has to file his return of income mandatorily. He has to file his return of income mandatorily. Okay, so normally gift from son is not taxable. All other things leave it. Where such person who is not required to file his return on account of his total income being lower than the basic exemption limit would be required to file if he is depositing rupees 50 lakhs or more in the previous year. In the said question, he has deposited 50 lakhs on savings bank account in 22-23. So mandatory filing. Mandatory filing. Irrespective of his level of income, mandatory filing. Yes, sir. All bank account. Aggregate, in fact. where a person deposits 25 lakhs in aggregate. Not mandatory. PAN the mandatory in this case. In this case, PAN is only mandatory. Okay. Okay. In this case, PAN is only mandatory, but not otherwise. 20 lakhs. Open பண்ணதுக்கே mandatory. Yeah. Life insurance premium payment exceeds 1 lakh. Is there a mandatory provision? Is there a mandatory provision? Okay. Again, only PAN is mandatory. Inga electricity bill da only criteria, and foreign travel, etc. Here also only PAN is mandatory and not filing. Fees under section 234H for not linking PAN with Aadhaar. Fees under 234H for not linking PAN with Aadhaar. Do you know how long they gave time? Up to 31st March 22. Up to 31st March they gave the time. Beyond that, 234H interest will become applicable. Okay. They gave extra 3 months. Okay. 500 rupees will be the fees if you are linking between April to June. Otherwise, 1000 rupees. Extra 3 months they gave with a lesser fee. After that, the fees became 1000. Consequences. If they don't link, PAN becomes inoperative. However, once it links, it becomes operative. Yeah, 1000. Fees is different. Fees has nothing to do with consequence. Fees is 500 and 1000. Consequence. It is not a penalty. It's a fees. Yeah. Now, consequences, PAN becomes inoperative. What is the difference between revised return and updated return? Okay. So, question number 10 of that. Where there are errors and omission, then the same can be rectified by filing a revised return. Then the same can be rectified by filing a revised return. Full stop. Continue. This needs to be filed within 31st December. Law prakaram pona 3 months prior to the end of the assessment year. So 22-23 financial year means 23-24 assessment year, which ends on the March 24. 3 months prior is 31st. So you take a direct answer as 31st December. Full stop. Continue. Unless a original return or belated return is filed, unless a original return or belated return is filed, unless a original return or belated return is filed, revised return cannot be filed. Revised return cannot be filed. Okay, unless you file it, you cannot. Okay, full stop, continue. Revised return can also result in a benefit to the assessee. அதாவது original returnல I have filed an income that I have filed it within the due date. In the revised return, can I file a loss? Yes. And can that loss be carried forward? Yes, because revised return partakes the character of original return in form and content. Revised return partakes the character of original return. So even in the revised return, your loss can increase, income can become loss. ஆனா இதெல்லாம் updated returnல not possible. Updated return can only be revenue friendly, cannot be assessee friendly. Next paragraph. In case of updated return, see, one thing I told you is revised return can be filed only if original return or belated return is filed. Ana, as far as updated return is concerned, even if you have not filed your return, you can file updated return. In case of updated return, the same can be filed. The same can be filed even if original return is not filed. Even if original return is not filed. Okay, it can be filed even if the original return is not filed by us. Full stop, continue. However, updated return can only be revenue friendly. That is, it can increase the income or convert the loss into income. Am I clear to you? Okay.
How it is possible?
Huh? So, now the risk management system software says that I have not included an income. Originally, I have filed a loss return. Now I know that it becomes an income. The loss reduces or it becomes an income. Okay, friends. Okay, a return of income general provisionல இதுதான் கேட்கலாங்க. Okay, maximum இதுதான் கேட்க முடியும். But obviously I come to the main question, that is updated return. Okay, this is the most important. If you ask me, if there is a 10-12 marks also from ஒரு 4 marks இதுல இருந்தா வரும்னு I feel so. Okay. Who can file updated return? Any person. Okay, start answering one by one. Any person. Any person. Whether he has furnished return under 139 or not. 139 na all parts of 139 na return of loss, belated return எல்லாம் சேர்த்து தான் சொல்றேன். Or not also. Okay, even if you have not filed. Okay. Second question. What is the time limit for filing updated return? 24 months from the end of the assessment year. Can updated return be filed even if original return is not filed? Yes. Yes. Fourth, can updated return be filed if there is an increase in loss, increase in income or loss being converted into income? What consequences? It can only be revenue friendly. Okay. Increase in loss, it cannot be filed. Increase in loss hyphen, it cannot be filed. Next, increase in income, it can be filed. Loss converted into income, it can be filed. Loss converted into income, it can be filed. Okay. What consequence arise? In the third case, loss converted into income. Next year also you should file the updated return because you would have claimed the carry forward. In the first year, you claimed it as a loss. Obviously, in the next year, you would have carried forward and adjusted that loss. Now that loss is converted into an income, which means in the subsequent year also, you need to file the updated return to reverse the loss and increase the income where where
But last returns has to be filed in time.
அதெல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டேன் சார். அந்த லாஸை இப்ப இன்கமா மாறுது. ஒரு ரிஸ்க் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் சிஸ்டம்ல எனக்கு பிளாக் ஆஃப் ஆயிருக்கு எனக்கு. So I have converted it into income. நான் வந்து ஒரு 21 22க்கு லாஸ், 22 23 நான் ஃபைல் பண்ணி அந்த லாஸை கிளைம் பண்ணிட்டேன். In 23 24 I realized that my 21 22 loss is wrong. Okay, where loss is converted into income, then updated return has to be filed for the immediate succeeding year also. For the immediate succeeding year, reversing the claim of loss. Okay, okay. Can updated return be revised? No, updated return can be filed only once. Can updated return be filed when assessment is pending? No. No. Okay. When assessment is in process, updated return cannot be filed. You know what is assessment pending? Notice issued, order not passed is known as the assessment pending period. In that period, you cannot. In what other circumstances updated return cannot be filed? In what other circumstances? That is, there are some laws which are prohibiting. If there are pendencies, we are prohibited. So where any proceedings or it cannot be completed. Similarly, okay. So can we please write it down also? Where AO has in his possession that assessee has violated under Smugglers and Foreign Exchange Manipulators Act, Smugglers and Foreign Exchange Manipulators Act, Prohibition of Binomy Property Transaction Act, Prohibition of Binomy Property Transaction Act, Money Laundering, Black Money and Imposition of Tax Act, next, AO has information under section 90 and 90A, that is DTAA, in respect of such person. Okay, you can formulate it as an answer and write it. இது ரொம்ப rare, இந்த மாதிரி ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கிற மாதிரி கேட்க மாட்டாங்க, but generally. Can updated return be filed with tax due to be paid? No. Okay, it can be taxes due, taxes should be paid and then only updated. Normal return can be filed even with the tax due. 139 or return I can file even with the tax due, I need not. Whereas in case of updated return, the due taxes should first be paid and then only return should be filed. What is the additional tax that needs to be paid in case of updated return? What is additional tax? We have already studied while doing buyback of shares, exit tax regime. Additional tax means apart from income tax, what you pay is additional tax, not along with income tax. All places where they say additional tax, they will say this cannot be taken as credit, this cannot be taken. That is in addition to what we are normally liable to pay as income tax. Okay, section 140B, additional tax shall be 25% of aggregate of tax and interest payable of aggregate of tax and interest payable if updated return is filed within 12 months, and 50% of 50% of tax and interest payable if updated return is filed after 12 months before 24 months. Okay, we'll wind up the discussion with a practical question. When I say tax, I mean tax is equal to, we have law has changed, tax plus interest plus, tax plus surcharge plus HEC. Tax does not mean only base tax. Surcharge HEC is also part of tax, plus interest 234B ABC interest. Okay. Narahari filed his return of income for the financial year 21-22 on 10th December 22, declaring income on presumptive basis. Turnover of his retail business was 1 crore 40 lakh. He has invested 150 in PPF and gave a donation of 10,000 in cash to a registered political party. He cannot claim 80 GGC because 2,000 is the limit for political donations. More than 2,000, it should be through approved modes. Where it is through cash, bearer check, crossed check, it will not be allowed. he pays all the taxes and files a return in December 22. In October 23, he realizes that while recording the turnover, he has missed out the last sale that happened for 30 lakhs. This will make his turnover 1 crore 70 lakhs instead of 1 crore 40 lakhs. He wants to file updated return immediately and pay the balance tax. Compute the amount that he is liable to pay. Okay, if you remember in the last class I was telling you I'll speak about advance tax also. Normally advance tax is 4 installments, that is 15th June, 15th September, 15th December, 15th March, 15%, 45%, 75%, 100% on a cumulative basis you should have paid when advance tax liability does not arise. For senior citizens, no advance tax liability provided they do not have any business income. Where the tax due is meager, 10,000, no advance tax liability. Third case is where assessee has opted for presumptive computation under 44 AD and ADA. Where assessee has opted for presumptive computation under 44 AD and ADA, only the last installment of advance tax needs to be paid, that is 15th March. They need not pay the other 3 installments, they need to pay only the last installment. In which case, 234C interest will only be for that 1 month. Otherwise, everywhere I will find the shortfall and compute for 3 months, 3 into 3. Last March alone for 1 month, whereas in this case only for March. Keeping this in our mind, let us understand this how this system works. What would have happened in December 22 when he is filing his return? If it is, if they have specifically said that it is through banking channel, 6%. Otherwise, 8% of such turnover. add interest under section 234A. Add interest under, because he has opted for presumptive computation, his due date would have been July. He is filing only in December. August, September, October, November, December, 5 months. Okay. One of the advantages you have is you can round it off to the lowest 100. இந்த 760 இருக்கு இல்லையா, 1,10,760, இதை வந்து 1,10,700 கூட போடலாம். பட் நம்ம இன்ஸ்டியூட் மெட்டீரியல்ல அந்த மாதிரி ஃபாலோ பண்றது இல்லை. ஸோ ஐ எம் டூயிங் இட் ஃபார் 1,10,760. I think he has not paid any advance tax. It starts from April and goes till whenever you are filing, paying your taxes. So in this case, 9 months delay is there. In this case, 9 months delay is there. This into 1% into 9 months delay. To 34B starts from April. At least 90% in the 1,10,000, 99,000 you should have paid. If not, whatever is the shortfall, in this case, no advance tax is paid, the entire amount is shortfall. Whatever is the shortfall into 1% into number of month.
Sir, but for each installment, what's the amount to be paid?
234 CA. 234B is if you don't pay at least 90% of the total tax before 31st March. 234C the proposed date. In this case, he is a presumptive assessee. Okay. Any doubts? Ask. Are you clear? Okay. This is how it would have. In October 23, my my gross turnover gets increased. My total income becomes 12 lakh 10,000. My gross turnover has grown up by 30 lakhs. So 1 crore 70 lakhs on that 8% and my total income.
Any deductions was not claimed on the day. Missed. Any deduction was missed during the.
You cannot claim it in updated return. Updated return can only be revenue free. Yes.
You have to pay tax, then only they will accept.
Absolutely, yes. You have to not just pay tax, you have to pay additional tax also.
The 44 AD option also are selected before the.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, friend.
Cannot change.
We cannot change. That option has to be excised before filing the return. 139 return. Okay. Now, let me okay. Let me go in my own style. Okay, you can have a parallel style of finally deducting also, but I'll take it step by step. Less total tax already paid other than interest, how much I have paid. Total tax, what I have already paid is 110,760. 110,760. As a balance tax, I will be paying 71,760. As a balance tax portion, which I will be paying is 71,760. Are you understanding this? Okay. Now, and interest under 234A. Interest under 234A. No doubt you have filed your return in December 22. But you have computed interest on 1,10,760. You should have computed on 182,520. I am not asking you to pay interest up to updated return date. If you have not filed your return already, then up to the date of updated return. Please understand. If you have 234A odd amendment, if you have not filed your return, then till the date of updated return. If you have already filed your return, I am not changing your 234A till that date, but on the new income or on the new tax. Okay, so what happens is, okay, the computation goes like this: 1,82,520 into 1% into August, September, October, November, December, 5 months. July 22 to December 22 only. Less already paid. Additionally, you are paying this amount as 234A interest. Is this clear? Is this clear? Now ஒன்னு திருப்பி சொல்றேன். Updated return the first return. You have already not filed. Till the date of updated return, you should compute. Otherwise, you have filed your return, but your income has changed. You should have computed your 234A on 1,82,520, but you have only computed on 1,10,000 on the difference amount. For that 5 months, compute the interest. (234B) needs to be also carefully understood by you, because you have not paid 90%, fine, but you have paid a part of the amount in December. You have paid a part of the amount in December, which also is recognized by the law. இப்போ 234B உடைய interest 1,82,520 into 1% into 9. This is from April 22 to December 22. 1,82,520 into 1% into 9. This should have been your interest till December 22. This should have been your interest till December 22. Okay. Less already paid. $9,968. add. So you have 182 522 onnodia 520 tax. Out of that, in December you paid 1,10,760. Balance 71,760. Balance 71,760 into 1% into Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, 10 months. 10 months. You should add it up. Okay. I will give you a reverse working also if you want. இந்த அமௌண்ட்டுக்கு நான் வந்து 234B interest till December போடுறேன். ஏன்னா nothing has been paid. December. ஆனா டிசம்பர்ல I paid this amount. Balance payable is only this. For this, for a period of 10 months, I need to work. இன்னொரு விதமா ஒர்க் பண்ணலாம். 182 520 into 1% into the whole 19 months or whatever is the period minus whatever is already paid, but that becomes a little difficult job. Huh? What remote you want? $234B interest will only be calculated like this. $234B interest will only be calculated like this. Nama normalaவே நீங்க the unfortunate fact is you are all doing it in the software. Okay, so ஏப்ரல்ல ஒரு அமௌண்ட் பே பண்றேன், மே ஒரு அமௌண்ட் பே பண்றேன். 234B interest will be computed for 1 month differently, second month differently, third month differently. That's how the system works. Are you all understanding? Okay, right? I don't expect an intricate question in updated return, but updated return is a questionable area. Updated return is a questionable area. என்ன பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் first return file பண்ண மாதிரி கொடுக்க மாட்டாங்க. டைரக்டா updated return filing. What is the additional tax payable? Practically இருந்தா இல்ல theoretically இருந்தா it's a direct question on whether I can file this, that ஒரு 5 circumstance கொடுத்து they can ask you. But I'm very confident it will be falling in this 10 parts of questions which we have discussed. Am I clear to you? Okay. So after the return filing, I'm going into assessment. There are two types of assessment. One is a scrutiny assessment under section 143. Another is reassessment under section 147. Okay, there are two things which we need to understand. Let us have a quick understanding of them. Scrutiny assessment. Notice for scrutiny assessment needs to be issued within 3 months from the end of the assessment year, end of the year in which return is filed. 3 months from the end of the year in which return is filed. 3 months from the end of the year in which return is filed. Okay. Second, amended provision of section 143(3) specifies. This I have discussed while discussing trust also. Okay, where specified violation is identified. Where specified violation is identified, then AO has to communicate the same. AO has to communicate to the same to the C/PC, commissioner or principal commissioner. Full stop, continue. PC, C or PC, okay, shall call for records, examine documents, and pass an final order, either rejecting the violation mentioned by AO or cancelling the registration of the trust. Full stop, continue. This order needs to be passed. We have already written once more. this order needs to be passed within 6 months from the end of the quarter in which notice is sent. So that is the amendment there, my dear friends. That is the amendment there. Scrutiny assessment need to be completed within 9 months from the end of the assessment year. Okay, இதை வந்து டைரக்டா சொன்னேன். From the end of the year in which return is filed. அதுல amendment என்ன? Suppose if it is updated return. Okay, suppose if it is updated return. Full stop, continue. However, where an updated return is filed, then 9 months from the end of the financial year in which updated return is filed. Then 9 months from the end of the financial year in which updated return is filed. Are you clear? Fourth question. Mr. Akash filed his original return for assessment year 22-23 and 23-24 on 31/7/22-23 respectively. He, however, filed an updated return for assessment year 22-23 on 31/10/23. What is the time limit for completing assessment under 143(3) in respect of these 2 years? So, இது வந்து file பண்ணிருக்கிறது 23-24ல. Okay, financial year 23-24. So, before 31/12/24, I need to complete the assessment. 9 months from the end of the financial year in which return is filed. Inga, I have filed it on 31/7/23, which is also falling under the financial year 23-24. 3 months குள்ள notice அனுப்பிச்சிருப்பேன், 9 months குள்ள return. ரெண்டுமே should be completed within 31/12/24. Are you understanding? Are you understanding? For financial year 22-23. Sorry, 21-22. For financial year 21-22. That is assessment year 22-23. Updated return is filed on 31/10/23. Updated return is filed on, நீங்க updated return ஃபைல் பண்ணவே வேணாம்ல. क्वेश्चन தப்பா டிராஃப்ட் பண்ணி நம்ம இன்ஸ்டிடியூட் क्वेश्चन தான் அது. உங்களுக்கு நார்மல் டைம் இருக்கு. AY 22-23 னா 31/10/23 வரைக்கும் உங்களுக்கு நார்மல் டைமே இருக்கு. And 31/12 வரைக்கும் ரிவைஸ்ட் ரிட்டர்ன் டைமே இருக்கு. So actually it should be FY நினைக்கிறேன், but anyhow, okay, நம்ம இன்ஸ்டிடியூட்ல இருந்தா ஏதோ ஒரு क्वेश्चन எடுத்தேன். Okay, updated return is filed on 31/10/23. Financial year ends on 31st March 24. Financial year sorry. Yeah, correct. You're right. Yeah. Financial year 21-22. Correct. So, yeah. Hence, 143.3 should have been completed. Nine months from the end of the financial year in which updated return is filed. 9 months from the end of the financial year in which updated return is filed. That is 31/12/24. Next, for AY 23/24, normal return is filed in July 23. Notice under 143 subsection 2. Notice under 143 subsection 2. On or before 30th June 24. 3 months, okay? Notice 3 months from the end of the financial year in which return is filed. So, 23/24 na 31st March 24 முடியுது. So, the assessment has to be completed. Assessment has to be completed on or before 31st December 24. Okay, okay, right. Are you clear? Okay, maximum ida. The third part might be the question. In MCQ, this might be the question. The third part might be the MCQ question, if at all there is a 143 question. And 143 can also, the other amendment of 143 is also very important because of specified violation. Okay, both the amendments are important. We have already seen it in trust itself. Let me have a quick review of these things. 147, 148, 148A, okay, 149, 150, 151, 152, 153. These are reassessment provision. Reassessment, not, we should not think once assessment should have been completed. No, the section is assessment, reassessment, recomputation of income which has escaped assessment. Assessment, reassessment. Assessment means first time, because 143 time limit is over, so I am bringing it under 147. Assessment, reassessment, that is already completed. Now I am again doing the assessment. Recomputation, okay, of total income, because income has escaped assessment. What is income escaping assessment? You have taxable income, you have not filed your return. You have filed your return, but you have declared a lesser income. You have filed your return, you have filed a lesser income. Assessment is also over. Now I identify some income as not being disclosed. In these cases, the reassessment procedure will happen. In these cases, the reassessment procedure will happen. And also, search and seizure cases are coming under reassessment. 132 and 132A cases are coming under reassessment. Oh, survey. 153A is scrapped, sir, now. It is merged with 153A 2 years முன்னாடியே scrapped. இப்போ எல்லாமே ரெண்டே assessment தான். There is no block assessment concept. So, search assessment is also clubbed with 147 now. assessing officer. Okay, listen, even before exam, once listen if possible. AO shall assess such income, which means such income means the income which I have identified as escaping assessment, and any other income which comes to my notice during the process of assessment. Now ஒரு இஷ்யூக்கு நோட்டீஸ் அனுப்பிச்சிருக்கேன். I opened your case, which is popularly known as reopening of your case. Now while doing that, I get some other information that some other income has also escaped. அதுக்கு தனியா நோட்டீஸ் அனுப்பணுமா வேண்டாம். And such other income which comes to the notice of the AO in the process of assessment. This is known as, this is the purpose of 147. This is the primary section of assessment, but this is also a subordinate section. You suppose if all things under 148 to 153 are fulfilled, only 147 will stand. In this, even though we are going to study the order as 148, 148A, actually 148A precedes 148. 148A precedes 1. Show cause notice. Why I should not take up your case for reassessment, recomputation. That is the first principle. Okay. Assessing officer has some information. என்கிட்ட ஒரு information இருக்கு. I need not hide it from you nowadays. It is apparently available, that information. So 148A says, I have some information. I will share that information with you. You show me the reason why I should not take up your case for reassessment. Okay. However, no such notice is required for deemed information. What is meant by deemed information? Search and seizure cases. Deemed information na enna na solren. Oru vaati listen to it. Deemed information means information that I got from 132, search and seizure. I need not send you any notice. I can directly start with the assessment. Okay. Number 2, information I got because when I searched some other person, I got to know about you. Okay. Right. Other person deemed to have been searched. Okay. இது lawல perception ஒன்னு இருக்கு. I have a question also for that. I go on search of Mr. X. Whatever I found in the premises of X, I assume that it is to be X. அது என்னோட perception. In the process of assessment, X proves that he is just a binomy. It is the property belongs to, the paper pertains to Mr. Y. Now Y is deemed to have been searched. So that is also I need not go for 148A. I can directly search. Survey 133 survey other than TDS survey. TDS TCS survey is not a deemed information. Any other stock has been understated. இதெல்லாம் directly தெரியுது. In that case, deemed search. Or I get information from outside India due to DTAA or something. I am getting information about you. In these cases, I can directly start with 148, issue of notice. In all other cases, I need to ensure that I am sending a show cause notice. What is this show cause notice? I am sending to the assessee, show me a reason why I should not. And I should give time for the assessee to respond. The time can be anywhere between 7 days to 30 days. Maximum 30 days. Minimum 7 days time for assessee to respond. However, assessee can file an application saying he wants an extended time, which can be extended. Where I have not got any response from the assessee. Where I have received the response but it is not satisfactory, then I will issue 148 notice. Where I have not got any response after the 30th day, adana na wait பண்ணுவேன். where I received a response either within the time allotted or the extended time. I got the reply which is not satisfactory. Then I will start 148 notice where I issue saying that why the income escaping assessment cannot be assessed under 147. 148 notice will say file your return. We have identified that this income is not, please file your return. So on the basis of information and all other things, assessee starts filing the return. 148 notice can be issued for any assessment year. There comes 149. 149 says, no boss, you cannot issue for any assessment year. It is restricted to 3 years. It is restricted to 3 years. However, where the income escaping assessment is 50 lakhs or more, then it can go up to 10 years. Then it can go up to 10 years. Beyond 3 years, up to 10 years, you can issue notice. Repeating, 149 speaks about what is the time limit for issue of reopening of assessment. Up to 3 years without any limitation for any level of income. But if you want to go beyond 3 years, maximum up to a period of 10 years, your income escaping assessment should be in aggregate 50 lakhs or more. Not in every year it should be 50 lakhs. ஆனா இதுல ஒரு அட்வான்டேஜ் என்ன சொல்றாங்க by practice. 5 years back, in that year alone, it is exceeded 50 lakhs or more. You need not open for all 7 years. And the year matra open panna. That is with the AO now. What are all this income escaping assessment? Any money, bullion, jewelry, which is there with you, which is not recorded in your books of account. Any expenditure you have made, any expenditure which you have made for an occasion or for an event for which it is not properly supported with a source, any investment which you have made, either the source not available or it is not recorded in books of accounts, is the income escaping assessment. Basically asset based or expenditure based. Asset based means source illa, books la record alla. Expenditure means you don't have the source to make such a huge expenditure. So in these two cases, income. If the expenditure is spread over multiple years, இது வந்து amendmentல ஞாபகம் வச்சுங்க கேட்டுங்க. If the expenditure is spread over 2 years and both the year put together only it has exceeded 50 lakhs, assessing officer should reopen both the years by issuing 2 notices. Okay, separate notice has to be issued year wise. Separate assessment has to be issued made year wise. So this is one aspect of 149. Okay, more than 3 years if it is 50 lakhs etc. Right. Is there a no time limit provision? Yes, 150 comes to the place of no time limit provision. No time limit is applicable where if you are going to reopen due to an order of a superior authority, appellate authority, High Court, Supreme Court, they say reopen a case. They say reopen a year. In that case, I need not see whether it is within 3 years, 10 years, etc. to implement the order of an appellate authority. I don't have any time limit. I can go before even preceding years also. 151 had major changes, but I don't think that is a questionable area. அப்படி என்ன சார் 151 speaks about specified authority. Who are all the authority to authorize? Okay, I always call it as the company law principle of doctrine of indoor management. அது நான் போய் பார்க்க போறது இல்ல, நீ கமிஷனர் அப்பீல் வாங்கிருக்கியா, நீ போய் ஜேசிஐடில, that's all. I believe that it has happened. Okay, so I don't think that is a questionable area. 152 is the section which tells us what is the rate of tax at which it has to be paid. It has to be paid at the rates prevailing in that respective year. Now 2011 12 இப்போ sorry 14 15 இப்போ ரீஓபன் பண்றேன். 14 15 ஓட ரேட் என்ன? அட்வான்டேஜும் இருக்கலாம். ஏன்னா அந்த வருஷம் சர்சார்ஜ் இல்ல. இந்த வருஷம் சர்சார்ஜ் 37%. Okay, advantage இருக்கலாம், but it should be taxed at the rates prevailing in that particular financial year. 153 tells within 12 months from the end of the year in which you issued the notice, complete the assessment. Complete the assessment. இதுல நம்ம படிக்க வேண்டியது 148A and 148 149. இது மூணு செக்ஷனும் very very important sections.
If 12 months is the completion date. Completion of assessment.
12 months. A quick read through, a quick recap. Okay, if any income chargeable to tax in case of an assessee has escaped assessment for any assessment year, any இல்ல 149 ல அதோட restriction இருக்கு. 147 ல opening statement has said one any. Okay, the AO may subject to the provisions of 148 to 153 follow the provisions of 148 to 143 assess first time, reassess already completed now open, or recompute the loss or depreciation allowance or any other. The AO may also assess reassess the income in respect of any issue which has escaped assessment, and such issue come to his notice subsequently in the case of proceedings, irrespective whether he has issued notice, show cause notice for that or not. Okay, now ஒரு income I have computed for LTCG as escaped assessment. I opened it for LTCG. In the course of completing the assessment, I find some IFOS as also escaped assessment. இது ஓபன்ல இருக்கும்போது I have found this. Now assessee cannot say நீ இதுக்கு ஒரிஜினலா எனக்கு கொடுக்கலையே. No, you cannot claim. Okay, right? Irrespective of இல்ல சார், நோட்டீஸ் அந்த இஷ்யூக்கு இயர்க்கு இஷ்யூ பண்ணிருக்கணும் சார். ஆமா, அந்த இயர் தான் சார். Okay, first process is a show cause notice 148A ல ஆரம்பிக்கணும். Okay, 148A show cause notice. If you want this part to be cut and pasted in the revision material, I will do it. I don't have a problem. Okay, right? Okay, நான் வந்து ஏற்கனவே சொன்ன REIT போட்டுட்டேன் அண்ட் மேட்டோடைய ஃபார்மேட்டையும் போட்டுட்டேன். ஓகே சார் வந்து மேட்டோட கொஸ்டின் ஒன்று கேட்டார், கத்தால எடுத்து வச்சேன், அதை வந்து சொல்யூஷனோடு நான் போட்டு கொடுத்துட்றேன். அந்த இன்டிஏஎஸோட ஹி வாஸ் ஆஸ்கிங் மீ ஒரு கொஸ்டின் இன்டிஏஎஸோட, அது கத்தால எடுத்து வச்சேன், பட் அதை பேஸ் பண்ணிட்டு நான் பண்ணாமல் விட்டேன். பிஃபோர் இன்டர்நேஷ்னல் டாக்ஸேஷன் அதை போட்டு உங்களுக்கு கொடுத்துறேன். ஸோ தட் சும்மா உங்களுக்கு ஃபார்மட்டாக பார்க்கறதுக்கு. AO may conduct any further inquiry with the approval of the specified authority. அதுதான் நான் சொல்றேன். அது இன்டோர் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட். அதை பத்தி நீங்க பெருசா ஸ்பெசிஃபைட் அத்தாரிட்டி மனப்பாடம் பண்ணோம், ஜாயிண்ட் கமிஷனர் யாரு, பியூர்லி இன்டோர் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட். யாரா இருந்தா உங்களுக்கு என்ன. ஓகே, ஆர் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் which suggest income has escaped. Provide an opportunity, show cause notice to the assessee with the prior approval as to why a notice under section 148 should not be issued on the basis of information which suggests that income has escaped the assessment for any relevance year. Okay. Assessee need to respond to the notice within the time limit, normally 7 to 30 days. On the basis of material available and on the basis of response given by the assessee, AO shall decide by passing an order with the prior approval whether or not it is a fit case for 148. Within 1 month from the end of the month in which reply is received from the assessee, and where there is no reply, within 1 month from the end of the month in which time limit expires and the 30 days expires, you have to. Okay, mandatory notice. அதாவது நீ டைரக்டா 148க்கு போயிடு. 148 வேண்டாம் உனக்கு. What are all the case? Direct search. Directa உங்களை search பண்ணுது. Deemed search. You are not searched. Some other person is searched, but you got to know that you have assets. Okay. Deemed search of another person. Okay. In these cases, there is a direct notice. Okay. 148. Before making assessment, reassessment, recomputation, AO shall serve on the assessee, requiring him to furnish within the set period a notice, a return of his income, okay, or any other person, representative assessee. Return has to be in prescribed form, all these things. Okay. Conditions for issue of notice. Why should I open the case in 147? அது இங்க தான் தெரியும் உங்களுக்கு. எதனால 147? இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் வித் த ஏஓ சஜஸ்ட். இதுக்கு பேர் ரிஸ்க் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன். இப்போ ஆஃபீஸ்க்குலாம் நீங்க எக்ஸாம் முடிச்சுட்டு போனீங்கன்னா இந்த இது நிறைய வந்திருக்கு. எல்லாம் சும்மா போற வரும் உனக்கே வந்திருக்கும் உங்க மெயிலெலாம் பாருங்க. ஓகே, ஸ்டைஃபனுக்கு இன்னும் டாக்ஸ் கட்டல. Okay, so information with the AO suggests that the income chargeable to tax has escaped in the case of a relevant assessment year. AO has obtained prior approval. AO has received any information through the faceless route of 135A. Okay, what is information? Risk management strategy formulated, audit objection, DTAA, and other faceless informations. Am I clear to you? The deemed search உங்களுக்கு தெரியும். That is, it belongs to some other person. It pertains to some other person. அதுதான் deemed information. Okay. TDS நீ கரெக்டா TDS பிடிக்கலையான்னு வர சர்வே வச்சுட்டு நீ ஒருத்தனுக்கு TDS பிடிக்கலன்னு வச்சுக்கோயேன், அதை வச்சு 147 இஷ்யூன்னு பண்ணா அது ரொம்ப தப்பு இல்ல. அதுக்கு தான் பெனால்டி 270 எல்லாம் இருக்கு, 271C எல்லாம் இருக்கு. Okay. What is the time limit for issue of notice? Within 3 years. But where assessing officer is in his possession books of accounts, documents, or evidence we represented in the form of asset which has escaped amounts is likely to be 50 lakhs or more, then 3 years, but up to 10 years. Okay. Specified authority, no time limit. Okay, and miscellaneous provisions, etc. For this, I'll cut the material and paste it here so that you know the answers for these questions. 12 months from the end of the year in which notice is served. That is the time limit for. Huh?
End of the year or end of the month?
End of the year. Okay, a quick question on the search. The business premises of an assessee and the residence of its directors were searched under section 132. The seized document include document relating to another assessee indicating various business transaction. Within 60 days, hand it over to the other assessing officer. Okay, specify the procedure to be followed. Okay, part A, the authorized officer shall hand over the documents pertaining to another assessee to the respective assessing officer within 60 days from the end of the search. Okay, last of the document notice of issuing search அப்படின்ற வேர்டை யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க. From the end of the search is what is technically it means when it is initiated. Okay, within 60 days. Full stop, continue. The other person is deemed to have been searched. The other person is deemed to have been searched. Okay, the other person is deemed to have been searched. Okay, and then the assessing officer. Jewelry which the director claims does not belong to him. Part B of the answer. Rebuttable perception. Question பண்ண முடியாது. Okay, whatever is found in the possession of the person who is searched, whatever is found in the possession of the person who is searched belongs to him. Full stop, continue. It is only at the time of assessment. It is only at the time of assessment he can prove that it does not belong to him but owned by some other person. Not in his handwriting. See, okay, all documents, records are authorized by him. Adu perception da. Okay, okay. Before progressing out of assessment, இந்த 132ல இன்னும் ரெண்டு aspects சொல்லிடுறேன். Just to remember, how should the seized asset be used? Okay, I have seized the asset, that is the authorized officer has seized the asset. Whatever is the surplus asset, assessing or assessee can claim it. Whatever is the surplus asset, surplus means you have said that this is the income escaped assessment for which the tax and penalty come to, let's take 1 crore, but you have seized the asset worth 3 crores. The 2 crores is surplus asset. Return it as soon as the application is made by the assessee. Okay, practically ellame bank guarantee, but general solven. Okay, so return it. Otherwise, whatever is the seized asset on completion of assessment, first the monetary asset will be used, then the liquid asset, then the immovable assets. This is the order of usage of seized assets, which is there in 132B. Okay. Survey provisions, we all know that the power is closer to, in the money, he cannot take a seizure, but survey is also a mini search process by which he can note down stock book, he can impound the book of the account for 15 days. Okay, but survey is also a mini search by which he can get information and pass it on to the assessing officer. Okay, these two remember. For 15, he can take copies. For 15 days, he can retain the books of account with the prior approval of the commissioner. And okay, but that is just for keeping it in your knowledge sake. Okay. Friends, after the assessment is over, there are three processes that can happen. There are three processes: rectification, revision, appeal. Okay, rectification, revision, appeal. Okay, section 154, 263 and 264 and 245 onwards where we go for an appeal. Okay, rectification, revision, idella periya changes illa, amendments illa. Okay, and the appeal now we will discuss that later. Okay, but generally, okay, rare questionable area. Okay, what are all the powers available with AO to rectify the assessment order? Okay, where he has identified question 27 part 1, where AO has identified that any mistake apparent on record has been made while passing the assessment order, then the same can be rectified within 4 years okay, within 4 years from the end of the month in which order sought to be rectified is passed. Okay, இதுதான் power. Okay, full stop, continue. However, no rectification can be made due to change of opinion. Okay, law mere change of opinion will not be a mistake apparent on record. இங்கேயும் சரி 263 லியும் சரி mere change of opinion cannot be treated as a reason for opening up a case. Okay, ஒரு ஜெனரலா இதை ஆன்சர் பண்ணிடுறேன். Can a retrospective amendment be the reason for reopening or rectifying a case? If there is an ambiguity in law, may or may not irukku law, a clarification has been made, then a retrospective amendment can be the reason for rectification. Law is very clear and I have abided with the law. Law subsequently changed. Law was very clear and I have abided by the law on the date of filing my return or on the date of passing the order, there was no mistake. Subsequently, law was amended. That cannot be the reason. Even that law was amended with a retrospect. That cannot be the reason for reopening the case. So, retrospective amendment ki the answer, that two ways we should write. Can demand notice be revised or fresh demand notice be issued? Where it results in reduction of tax liability. Where it results in reduction of tax liability, then demand notice can be revised. Okay, where, next paragraph, where it results in increase of tax liability, where it results in increase of tax liability, fresh demand notice has to be issued at least for the incremental portion. ஒரு 30,000 சேர்த்து கட்டு அப்படி சொல்ல முடியாது. கம்மியா கட்டு சொல்லு தாராளமா. லாஜிக் அவ்வளவுதான். Section 254 அடுத்த question. Okay, powers of IT82 கரெக்டா 100 section plus பண்ணும். 154 AO, IT80 254. Okay, again section 254 சும்மா சின்னதா எழுதிக்கலாம். Mistake apparent on record, time limit 6 months from the end of the month of order. இதுல என்ன கொஸ்டின் வரும்ன்றத கொஞ்சம் சீக்கிரமே சொல்றேன். I mean before the end of the class I will tell you what இதுல இந்த மாதிரி கொஸ்டின்லாம் வராது. I will tell you. சார் இல்ல சார் நான் வச்சுங்க, பட் கொஸ்டினே வேற கேஸ் லால என்ன வரப்போகுது அது என்னன்னு we'll discuss the case laws, relevant case laws where I feel, see it's all judgmental boss, where I feel that these questions these case laws might be questionable areas. Okay,
6 month time.
huh? Rectification by IT80. When is an order considered prejudicial under 263 and its consequences? That is, it has lost, it has revenue has been lost. அப்படின்றது தான் order prejudicial. Okay, these are all the consider. Okay, section 263 where, okay, prejudicial order, section 263 prejudicial order, order passed without considering a circular or notification, order passed without considering circular or notification, order passed without considering a judgment, order allowing excessive relief, order without considering all documents or obtaining all information. இதை ப்ரூவ் பண்ணும் கமிஷனர். Okay, okay, my dear friends, இது amended provision of 263. Just understand this. இது வந்து what are all the powers? Enhance, modify, cancel the assessment and direct fresh assessment, which was not there earlier. Now which was CIT appeals இருந்தது இந்த power. Normal ward commissioner was not having. Now they can direct fresh assessment. Okay, they can also normally enhance, modify, cancel the assessment or direct fresh assessment. Modify the order to refer the case to TPO. AO has failed to refer the case to TPO. That transfer pricing, but AO has failed to refer the case to TPO. Now 263 he can refer it to TPO, cancelling the existing referral and order for fresh reference, because TPO's powers are whatever you referred only he is going to take it. If you want further, you can. It has to be completed within 2 years from the end of the financial year in which the order sought to be rectified is passed. Am I clear? Why I consider this as an important question is because of the amendment that took place. Is because of the amendment that took place. Okay, now till last year how the law was is, ipo I am the income tax official, sir is the assessee. A similar case is already pending for the past year. Now me and sir can agree, since a similar case is pending, திருப்பி எதுக்காக அப்பீல் போகணும், நம்ம வந்து அந்த கேஸ்ல என்ன ஜட்ஜ்மெண்ட் வருதோ that we will agree. You also agree, I also agree. If it is your favorable, I will drop the assessment. If it is my favorable, you will pay the taxes. இந்த வருஷம் இதோட ஸ்கோப்பை என்ஹான்ஸ் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. ஹை கோர்ட்டுக்கு உண்டு. Not only the similar case should be with the Supreme Court, it can be also on High Court, and it need not be the identical case of sir alone. Identical case of some other assessee will also be included. Okay. Deferment of an appeal against an identical question of law pending before High Court or Supreme Court. Section 158 AB provides that where the collegium, no more it is AO, collegium, which is 2 or more commissioner, principal commissioners, etc., is of the opinion that any question of law arising in case of an assessee for any assessment year is identical with the question of law in his case, our case liye, or in case of any other assessee for any assessment year. Till last year, in the second part illam 158 AA, இப்போ This is a progressive change where not only your case, which is pending with the High Court or the Supreme Court or in a special leave petition of the Constitution, the Collegium may decide and inform the Commissioner not to file an appeal. Why do you want to go ahead and appeal? Let us wait to the jurisdictional High Commissioner in the relevant case. Directa Panirlama, assessee inform Manavanama. Should assessee be not taken in the books? Okay. Directing the AO to file an appeal when question of law becomes final. Okay. That is, once it is over, then if it is a variation, then you can order. Application to be made only if the assessee accepts that the question of law is identical. Assessee should also agree that the question of law is identical. Then in that case, instead of avoiding repetitive appeals, they can. Okay, so that is the major amendment that took place. So that's why there is a possibility that there is a small question in that. Am I clear to you? Okay. இல்ல அது 30 days தான் டைம் லிமிட் அப்பீல்க்கே. சோ அதுக்குள்ள இன்ஃபார்ம் பண்றோம். Am I clear to you? This assessment is over. Now assessee is going on an appeal. CIT appeals la assessee ஜெயிச்சிடுறா. Now revenue has to go on an appeal. They will say wait. Similar case is pending. Why do you want to go for an appeal?
So they keep the
assessee inform. Yes. Appeal. Yeah. Appeal pending. Am I clear to you? Okay. Just give me a 5-10 minute throat break. We'll come back. Random questions from assessment procedures from RTP or MTP. Messrs. Alpha and Co. I was waiting for this question because I think there is a possibility. Sorry. Fast munchona pesappa. Messrs. Alpha and Co. is a partnership firm with 5 partners sharing profits and losses. Its return was selected for a scrutiny. The controversy was in relation to a loan of 50 lakhs from one partner, Mr. Raghav, credited in the books of the firm. The firm's explanation is that Mr. Raghav has given a loan for 50 lakhs carrying interest at 12% as approved by the deed was not accepted since Mr. Raghav's explanation for the source in his hand was not satisfactory for the assessing officer. Accordingly, the AO treated the said amount as cash credit in the hands of the firm and subjected to tax. Discuss the correctness of the AO's action. Louder assalu? No, அப்படின்னு. M. Venkateswara Rao and Co. M. Venkateswara Rao nu ஒரு கேஸ்ல the firm has explained the source. Please wait for me to complete. The firm has explained the source. It is the partner who has not explained. For firm, the services, I got it from the partner. The firm has explained. Only the partner has not explained. So, proceeding against the firm is not fair. Okay, was decided. Section 68 is amended. Section 68 got amended now. In the recent RTP, M. Venkateswara case lava adichira soltaanga. Section 68, okay, where the firm is unable to
Yes, there is also similar case law where it was said that firms firm is making mistakes, so they should be done. There is also a similar case law.
that is Muthoot Financials, that is something else. But here the amendment itself, where the sum, this is the amendment. Nama institute material bold lenda the amendment. Okay, unexplained loan or borrowing. Section 68 la. Where the sum so credited consists of loan or borrowing or any by whatever name called, any explanation offered by the assessee. Assessee is a firm here, in whose book such credit would not be deemed to be satisfactory unless the person in whose name such credit is recorded in the books of such assessee also offers an explanation about the nature and scope of such credit. Okay, and in the such explanation has been found satisfactory. So it is no more, okay, no more okay. Venkateswar. Okay, I think I deleted it in the material. I think I deleted it, okay, because it is not a relevant case law, but previously the position was very much different. Previously, case law previously the position was very much different till last year. Okay, now that case law is overruled by this judgment, which says the person in whose name such credit, okay, offers the explanation also. Otherwise, AO can take it over in the hands of the firm. We already have this provision for share capital and premium. Okay, and any explanation offered by a closely held company in respect of any credit as share application, share capital, share premium, or by what I in the accounts of such company would not be deemed to be satisfactory unless the person in whose name it appears also gives us the source of such money. Okay, so it is for a closely held company and also for a firm, and that is why this particular question. Okay, that is why, okay, it is an amendment to section 68. Okay, okay, the assessing officer's action is correct. The assessing officer's action is correct. The AO's action is correct according to the amended provisions of section 68. According to the amended provisions of section 68, any loan or borrowing would not be deemed to be satisfactory unless the person in whose name it is credited offers an explanation about the nature and source of such amount credited.
If AO is not satisfied with that explanation,
He will tax the firm.
he tax
Both the
the
person,
partner.
the firm as well as the
No, sir.
person.
But the same income will not be taxed twice.
No, I'm not talking about the taxing person. Both the person have to give even.
Yes, sir. Explanation has to be given both by the firm and by the person.
But here, since the instance is on the partner, he has to offer explanation.
He has to offer the explanation. If he fails to offer the explanation, I can take it as unexplained credit either in the hands of the firm or the partner, because as far as firm and partner is concerned, one and the same.
Sir, prospective amendment.
Sir, prospective. The business premises of Mr. Arjun was searched on 17/4/22 under section 132, consequent to which assessing officer has in possession documents revealing information pertaining to shares of 16/17 23 lakhs and 17, 18, 25. Total put together 48 da sir varudhu. Total put together 48 da. Can the AO issue notice and for bringing the tax to income escaping assessment? 3 assessment years munnadi. Okay, 17, 4, 22. So 21, 22, 20, 21, 19, 20. In the 3 years da open பண்ண முடியும். இது 16, 17 and 17, 18. Which means 17, 18, 18, 19. You cannot open because it is beyond the 3 years. Huh?
We are talking about the assessment.
Yes, sir.
But here, people
That's sir. 16, 17 order the 17, 18. 18, 17, 18 the 18, 19. Okay. Would your answer change? Appadina change ஆகும் sir. Okay. If the shares were for 30 lakhs instead of 20 lakhs, yes, aggregate exceeds 50 lakhs, you can open. What would be your answer? If consequent to the search, AO has in possession documents revealing information of expenditure of 52 lakhs incurred for 16, 6, 17 instead of information, yes, you can. Today, amended provision is 2 things: assets, expenditure. You are in possession of assets, money, bullion, jewelry or investment made by you which is not recorded, unrecorded. அதுவும் income escaping assessment தான். You have made an expenditure for which I am unable to track the source of such expenditure. That is also income escaping assessment. So according to the amended provision, this will also be taken up. Sir, amendment of 148, what happened is 148A, what is income escaping assessment irukku sir. LTCG you have not revealed income escaping assessment. IFOS not. இதெல்லாம் மாத்திரமா? You have assets for which is not properly recorded in the books, either non-recorded or recorded at a lower value, which means you have earned an income and purchased that asset. So அதை இன்க்ளூட் பண்ணாங்க, அதோடு நிறுத்தினாங்க. இந்த வருஷம் என்ன பண்ணாங்கன்னா, no, you have an expenditure, you have spent something, ஒரு ஈவென்ட் நடத்திருக்கீங்க. There is an event which has happened. The marriage is the biggest event, okay? Especially when you cross Chennai, marriage is a much bigger event. நான் சென்னையே ரொம்ப காஸ்ட்லி நினைச்சேன். அப்புறம் தான் தெரிஞ்சது ஆந்திரால கல்யாணம் பண்றது வந்து டி நகர்ல கிரவுண்ட் வாங்குற மாதிரியும். Okay, so in such a place, the event expenditure is so huge that the source is not properly explained. That is also considered as income escaping assessment. And அதுவும் 50 lakhs மேல இருந்ததுன்னா 1 year or cumulative of years, you can open up the case. Am I clear? Case 3. An order on 21 to assessment year 21-22 was passed by the assessing officer under section 143(3), but the typist wrongly typed the assessment order as 2021 and the relevant previous year was ending on 20. Assessee claimed in the appeal that the same is an invalid order which was not accepted by the CIT appeals on the ground that error being clerical error. 292B, okay, which says 292B BB. B is for assessee. Returnல ஒரு தப்பு பண்ணிட்டேன், காலம சரியா fill பண்ணல. Okay, in one of the very famous cases, they failed to claim the agriculture income as exempt and put it Now AO said that this is taxable because you yourself has. No, it's a clerical error. அவ்வளவுதான் அசசிக்கு. ஆனா ஏஓக்கு வரும்போது if the notice is wrong, if the notice is time barred, if there is a wrong signature there, and the assessee knows that it is a small mistake, clerical mistake, then 292 BB comes to the rescue of the department, which says such types of clerical mistakes can be accepted, can be condoned, and it should not be making the whole of the order as invalid.
Expenditure of marriage, how will you tax it? Cash or
So, information is today, all expenditures should be reported, sir. The mandabam reports. And if you organize some music parties, some event managers, they report. So much of information. Today, information is flowing like anything. Yeah, everything. Social media itself is a bigger information as such. Case 4. Would automatic vacation of stay order upon expiry of extended period of 365 days be valid where the delay is disposing of is not attributable to the assessee? Question may look vague, I will tell you. Demand, tax demand இருக்கு, ITAT appeal, tax demand. I can go for a stay order saying, boss, don't ask me to pay the tax of 20%, I pay remaining amount. I go for a stay order saying, maybe at the end of the day I need not pay. That stay order is valid for 1 year, 365 days. Suppose அதுக்குள்ள கேஸ் முடியலனா கூட நான் கட்டிரணும். But the case is not completed, not due to me, but the fault of the revenue. Okay, would automatic vacation of stay order for payment of tax upon expiry of extended period of 365 days be valid where the delay in disposing of the appeal is not attributable to the assessee. Pepsi case they said no, it will not be, you will not be asking the assessee to pay. You will not be asking the assessee to pay where the reason for delay is not the assessee and the revenue. The stay order will continue and will not be vacated. Okay, right? Does IT hold this question? That's what I said, is this will be a questionable area this time because I'll tell you the recent case law, earnest exports, இதெல்லாம் this makes this very interesting and questionable area also. Case law ல எனக்கு என்னமோ இந்த ரிவ்யூ தான் questionable ஏரியாவா வரும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். Dispute resolution committee. Okay, this where an assessment order, instead of going to the next level of appeal etc and all, you can take the draft order to the dispute resolution committee and try to wind up the order there itself. Okay, what are all the powers of DRC? Same like commissioner appeals, to approve, okay, or to modify or refer the case back to the assessing officer, and AO is bound by the order of the DRC. Assessee is not bound by the order of the DRC. He can go on an appeal. Okay, whereas AO is bound by the advance ruling mari. Okay, it is AO is bound by the order of DRC. Oh. Yeah. Advance ruling இப்போ அதான் அந்த ஹை கோர்ட் இப்போ வந்து போன வருஷம் law அது. Yeah. Okay, so AO is bound by the order of the DRC. இது போதும், இதுல DRC question chance இல்ல. There are so many things to question why they will be questioning on DRC and all. 269. Mr. Rahotaman accepted 15,000 in cash on 1st May and on 1st June another 15,000 by account payee. Is there a violation of 269 SS? Is there a violation?
Not acceptable.
Huh?
The second payment should be in the unapproved mode, then the bill violation. Here it is 15.
It is not a violation. What you have accepted, see, at the time of making the violation, the balance should be 20,000 or more. First, இதுதான் நம்ம violation சொல்றோம். இப்போ 0 தான் balance. இதை include பண்ணா கூட 15,000. There is no violation. Up to 20,000 you can go in for cash. When the next payment comes, this 50 becomes 30. At that time, it is only through an account payee check, no violation. Reverse நடந்ததுன்னா violation. First 15,000 by account payee check. Next 15,000 by cash. Then there is a violation. 15,000 will be the penalty. 100% of the amount will become the penalty. But in this case, there is no violation. You are not supposed to accept any loan, any deposit, okay, or any in excess of 20,000. The balance should not be 20,000. Here the balance is 0 at the time of accepting. No problem. A bill of 3 lakhs is paid in 2 equal installments. Is there a violation? Yes. In the 2 lakhs வரைக்கும் தான் limit. ST, yeah. 2 lakh வரைக்கும் தான் limit. What is the limit of 2 lakh? Single payment, single transaction, multiple payments for a single transaction. I purchased the jewelry for 2,50,000. Violation. I purchased 2 jewelries for 2,50,000. Violation. That is, I made the payment otherwise then. I purchased using multiple, in 3 different dates. Day 1, 1 lakh. Day 2, 1 lakh. Day 3, 50,000. 3 invoice இருக்கு. ஆனா I paid the amount by otherwise than by approved mode. Violation. Single payment, multiple payment for a single bill, multiple bill, single payment. எல்லாமே covered under 269 ST. 100% is your penalty. Huh? 2 lakh வரைக்கும் allowed. Now you have to give your PAN. Shall I? What are all the repayment criteria for loan or deposit? Amount outstanding along with interest. Repeat பண்றேன். Amount outstanding along with interest if it is more than 20,000. Any amount repaid should be otherwise done by, should be by approved modes. Amount outstanding along with its interest if it is more than, எனக்கு amount outstanding 30,000. I paid only 10,000 but by cash. Violation. Amount outstanding along with interest exceeds 20,000, any payment made should be only by approved modes. Amount outstanding 19k, pay this 19k also in cash, not a problem. Not a problem. Okay, amount outstanding தான் இங்க important, remember. Okay, loan or deposit order outstanding. The only exception is if you are repaying to NBFCs. Okay, ஒரு 10 installment சேர்த்து கட்டுறேன். 10 installments I have not paid. Okay, now per installment only they are looking at this 20,000 and not of cumulative. Okay, NBFC alone can receive or I can pay to NBFC in excess of 20,000 in cash provided per installment the payment does not exceed, installment does not exceed 20,000. Okay, இதுல வந்தா 269 SS எப்பயாவது வரலாம். Otherwise, just a base knowledge of these things is sufficient for you. Am I clear to you? Am I clear? Penalty la, I still believe the specified violation penalty one time means 100%, subsequent habitual will become 200%. That is a new introduction provision. In the 272A is a new introduction provision. That is failure to answer question sign statement from 100 rupees per day, they have increased it to 500 rupees per day. From 100 rupees per day, they have increased it to 500 rupees, continuous offense. Okay, it is 500 rupees per day they have increased. Otherwise, there is no amendment as such. ஆனா நீங்க படிக்கும்போது சார் இந்த 271 CC ல ஒரு அமெண்ட்மெண்ட் இருக்கு, CD அது ஒண்ணும் இல்ல, ப்ரொவிஷன் எல்லாம் சேர்த்து போட்டிருக்காங்க, அவ்வளவுதான். So don't think those are amendment. Now, what is 270A penalty? Underreporting or misreporting of income. Underreporting or misreporting, if it is underreporting 50% of the tax and if it is misreporting 200% of the tax is the penalty. Underreporting or misreporting. Okay, idhila what I should remember if you ask me, what is the amount of underreporting? Difference between 143.3 and 143.1. Income returned, that is income returned in your return 40 lakhs. 143.1 prima facie adjustment 42 lakhs. There is no underreporting. இதுக்கு penalty கிடையாது. While completing assessment, they complete it at 45 lakhs. 3 lakhs is underreporting. அதுக்கு உண்டான tax போட்டு 50% or 200%. Difference between 143.3 and 143.1. Okay. Of course, if it is reassessment, 147 versus 143.3 or even 143.1 if they have not originally assessed. This 143 can also be 144 if it is best judgment. Otherwise, this is the penalty of 270. 50% for underreporting, 200. Okay, if it is agreed addition, if it is agreed addition, that is you don't have a realistic method, you just arrived at on a, in that case penalty will not be levied. Agreed addition, penalty will not be levied. Genuine cases, immunity will be granted. Assessee and the assessing officer doesn't want to prolong the case, so they themselves come out with an amount. Okay, yeah. 271 FA, the statement of SFT. SFT should be filed before 31st May. SFT should be filed before 31st May. Otherwise, continuous offense. 500 rupees per day till 31st October. After that, 1000 rupees per day. Okay. SFT should be filed within 31st May. Okay. Statement of financial transactions. Okay. Within 31st May. Otherwise, 500 rupees for 6 months. அதாவது 6 months தானே, June, July, August, September, October, 5 months, sorry, up to October 31st. After that, 1000 rupees per day. Per day. 271 AAB penalty, 30% of undisclosed income, 30% of undisclosed income where the assessee accepts 30% search and seizure la varudhu idu 30% of undisclosed income where the assessee accepts and files a return specifying the undisclosed income. In any other case, 60%. Okay. Last, failure to get book audited under 44 AB, 1,50,000 or 1%, whichever is less. 0.1%. Penalty la ஞாபகம் இருக்குது இல்ல பாத்துடலாம். .5%. 0.5% or 1,50,000. 92E na 1 lakh direct. Okay, right. In this support 271E we have already seen. This is on the provisional area of direct taxation in our revision. I am very confident we have covered to the maximum extent possible. Okay, one or two additional questions, as I told you, I will just paste it along with answers for you to look into it. But so I want to once more look into case laws ஒரு வாட்டி. ஒரு சில case laws I want you to definitely be sure or be remembering those case laws. To a larger extent, நம்ம வந்து PGBP and capital gains case law while doing the regular provision we have done. Chennai properties is already asked many times, so I don't think there is a possibility, but we all know if the main source of, if the main object of the company is letting out of properties and the primary source of revenue is from that, then that income is taxable under PGBP and not under IHP. That is what is Rayala, that is what is NDR, warehousing, etc. Gujarat fertilizers we saw, that is nama idave pathom, subsidy received. Okay, it will be taxable as business income only because subsidy received in the form of license and later the license is sold. It will be taxable as business income only. Okay, K and Co is something about where the deposit is mandatory, then I will consider it as income. Okay, Saurashtra Cement da nama the compensation. If the compensation is for an asset, it will be reduced from the cost of the asset. Otherwise, it will be treated as income. Okay. A Sivakami and Co. A important na beneficial ownership. Asset need not be in the name of the company or the firm, but funded by the firm, used by the firm, that is sufficient. They are the beneficial owners. Okay. This we have seen, that is what is the rate of depreciation for the two things. TVS Motors we have seen. Okay, okay, whatever I am ticking, that is more than sufficient, please understand. Okay, in the case எல்லாத்துக்கும் சேர்த்து Apex Laboratories case, pharmaceutical companies எதுவுமே பண்ண முடியாதுன்றதுக்கு. Oriental Ceramics is about glow sign boards. Okay, is about glow sign boards. Debenture issue is at ITC hotels, which is allowed as a deduction. Priya Village Roadshow, we saw if it is for an existing business, it is abandoned without creating of an asset claim. If it is for a new business, you cannot claim. You cannot claim. Useless case law. Okay. Millennia Developers, we saw compounding fees. Okay, just because you call it by the name of regularization fee, it doesn't mean that you are regularizing something. It is a penalty. It is a penalty and it will not be allowed as a deduction. Infosys, asset not owned by me. I constructed an asset but gave it. Okay, it will not be held. It will not be treated. Okay. Wipro is that hedging. இத நம்ம கொஸ்டினாவே போட்டோம். That is foreign currency ல ஒரு hedging இருந்ததுன்னா கூட against the asset na it should be added to the cost of the asset. Okay. Maruti Suzuki, we saw this case law where for a non-resident income does not accrue or arise in India and he does not have a PE in India, even though you need not deduct tax at source because it is not taxable. Shaws and Chemicals are the bonus. If you remember, that bonus transferred to a trust, which in turn gave it to the employee. They should have given it before the due date of filing returns. Then only it will be allowed. Otherwise, it will not be allowed. Okay, right? Great, Steve. HCL. இது வந்து நம்ம கேஸ் லா எழுதல, ஆனா இதை பார்த்தோம். HCL சரி, இன்னொரு கேஸும். நம்ம 10AA question, if you remember, freight insurance. It should be excluded not only from the export turnover, but also turnover. Can expenditure incurred for provision of outside India, whether deductible, be excluded from the total turnover also? Yes. Okay. This is an important case law of recent times. Yes, it should be excluded. That's why RTP also had the same question. RTP also has the same question. Okay. With regard to capital gains, whatever I told you about joint ownership, co-ownership, okay, in the single ownership, that is more than sufficient. Okay, that is more than sufficient. Don't worry much about the capital gains case law. I don't see any new case law emerging in capital gains. Okay. In IFOS, I saw a new case law, that is Dr. Pai. Okay. Can bonus shares received by the shareholder be taxable as per the provisions of gift? Can bonus share be taxed? Because gift is something without any consideration. I don't pay any consideration, but I have held. When a shareholder gets bonus share, the value of original share goes down and the market value, intrinsic value will be almost same. So it will not be attracted under the 56(2)(10) provision. So it will not be treated as gift. This is an important provision to remember. Okay. நான் மிஸ் பண்ண ஒரு ஏரியா, அதாவது ஒரு அட்ஜஸ்ட்மெண்டா இன்க்ளூட் பண்ணாத ஒரு ஏரியா சொல்றேன். வாட் இஸ் மென்ட் பை டீம்டு டிவிடெண்ட்? Provided by a company in which public are not substantially interested, closely held company, unlisted company, to a substantial interest holder holding 10% or more, or to a firm in which he is a partner, to a company in which he is associated, will be treated as dividend in the hands of the receiver. Loan or advance will be treated as dividend. Of course, the company should have profits. If the company doesn't have profits, it is not dividend. And if the company's main business itself is letting out, then lending, and it has lent in the normal course, then also it is not. 222E, அது ஒரு வாட்டி படிச்சுங்க. Okay. Business oriented deductionல நான் வந்து ட்ரிப்கோல வந்து is section 14A applicable in respect of deductions which are permissible under chapter 6A. Now normally what is 14A? If the income is exempt, expenses cannot be claimed. Proportionately you will. Is it also for deduction? Income இருக்கு, deduction under chapter 6A தான் claim பண்ணலாம். Income is taxable, அதுக்கு ஒரு expenses இருக்கு, அதை allow பண்ணா அதுக்கப்புறம் I can claim deduction. Assessing officer said no, income after deduction, so proportionate expenditure I will also disallow. Okay, I have an income of 40 lakhs, I have an expenditure of 12 lakhs. This 40 lakhs is eligible for 100% deduction under 80G ன்னு வெச்சுங்களேன், or 80IA ன்னு வெச்சுங்களேன். Assessing officer said அப்ப இந்த 12 lakhs நான் விட மாட்டேன், proportionate தான் விடுவேன், இல்ல 50% deduction. Is what the deduction under chapter 6A are different from the exclusion or exemption. Section 14A is applicable only if an income is not included in the total income as per the provision. Therefore, no disallowance can be made just because you are claiming deduction under 80C to 80U. Am I clear to you? Okay. Don't I expect any question from trust for இது and all. இங்கே தான் assessment procedureல there are lot of case laws which are recent, which are very important, starting with Bavecha Missionary. Would prosecution proceedings be attracted where the failure to furnish return in time was not willful? Due to some reason, the HUF or the assessee was not able to file the return. Can the assessing officer go ahead with prosecuting the assessee? No. Okay. The provisions of section 276CC get attracted where there is a willful delay in filing return, not merely failure to file return on time. There should be a clear, cogent and reliable evidence that the failure was willful and there should be no possible doubt of it being willful. The failure must be intentional, deliberated, calculated and conscious. That is mens rea. I should have the intention of not filing. Just because there is a willful, the non-willful default, you cannot levy. இது ஒரு case law. ஒரு example சொல்றேன். I am an energy company. I am an energy company. I will enjoy 80IA 100% of my profits. I will enjoy 80IA 100% of my profits. Ipo, from my power sector, which is enjoying 80IA, I have 90 lakhs as income. Sir, the question I am making it a point. 90 lakhs as income. From my cement division, which is a non-specified business, I have a loss of 20 lakhs. Can I set it off? Can I set it off? Yes, I can. Business or profession, deduction enga varum, gross total income kandupidichonna raja. Idu before computing GTI. This is before computing GTI. So I can set off 90 minus 20, I can set off. So my income is 70 lakhs. What is my deduction? 70 lakhs. Can I claim 90 lakhs? Because of deduction should not exceed gross total income. Now let us take, I have IFO as 25 lakhs. Is deduction 70 lakhs or 90 lakhs? No, sir. Law Supreme Court has clarified it is 90 lakhs. Does profit linked deduction under Chapter 6A have to be restricted to income computed under PGBP? No, it is available for whole of the profit from specified business and not for the net profit after setting off of loss of non-specified business. However, the overall deduction should not exceed gross. அதுதான் நம்மளோட law. Please expect a practical question also on this. It can be in your MCQ also, Reliance Energy case law, where they have said, boss, if 90 if your income is only 70 claim பண்ணு. Your income is 105 இப்போ, or 95 இப்போ. 90 minus 20 plus 25. You can claim 90, balance 5 lakhs is only taxable. Okay, assessee favorable judgment. So please remember, it can be a questionable area. இதான் அந்த பெப்சி ஃபுட்ஸ் நான் உங்கள்கிட்ட சொன்னேன். Sir, the next, 3 case laws together, sir. Earnest, Reliance Communication. எது வேணா கோட் பண்ணுங்க, ஆனா இதான் இது என்னன்னு சொல்றேன். Does ITAT has the power to rectify its order? Rectification of mistake apparent on record 254, 6 months. What is the difference between rectification and review? First I will tell you. I made a mistake in the assessment order, I rectified. In the case தப்பா கேட்டுட்டேன், வேண்டாம் கீச்சு போடு, எல்லாரும் திருப்பி வாங்க. That is known as review. Review means rehearing the case, recalling the order and passing a fresh order. இந்த பவர் ஐடிஏடிக்கு இருக்கான்னா ரொம்ப லாங்கா இல்லன்னு சொல்லி இருந்தாங்க. Now the Supreme Court is very clear, கிடையாது உனக்கு. ஹை கோர்ட்டுக்கு உண்டு, சுப்ரீம் கோர்ட்டுக்கு உண்டு. We have been seeing Ayodhya case, we will go for a review petition. Other cases, whenever there was a specific, we will go for a review petition. The opposition leader's case, we will go for a review petition. And the very review power is with the court. ITAT unda. Now it is a firm judgment. Please remember, இது questionable area. எப்படி வேணா twist பண்ணலாம். இந்த கேஸ்லவும் questionable. அதனால தான் அங்க சொன்னேன், I will talk about review later. Does the appellate tribunal have the power to review or reappreciate the correctness? The power of 252 is limited to rectification of a mistake apparent on record, and therefore the tribunal must restrict itself with those parameters. Is not a carte blanche. என்ன வேணா பண்ணலாம்ன்றதெல்லாம் கிடையாது. Okay, to change its own view by substituting a view which it believes it should not have taken at the first instance. It is not a mandate to unsettle decision after due reflection. You should not use it. In this case, the tribunal, while dealing with the application, virtually reconsidered the entire matter and came to a different conclusion. This amounted to a reappreciation of the correctness, which is beyond the scope of the powers, so you are not to. In the Reliance Telecom, Reliance Communication, recalling nu vandhudu. No, you cannot. You don't have the power to recall, to review. You only have the power to rectify. You only have the power to rectify. Please remember, important case law, questionable case law.
Whether this judgment applicable to all tribunals or only ITAT?
Sir, வாரன tribunal, GST அந்த மாதிரி lawless.
But such that then central administration.
தெரியல சார், நாங்க அந்த லால படிக்கல சார். ஆமா சார், ஆல் ட்ரைபியூனல்ஸ்க்கு இதை கோட் பண்ணுவாங்க. சொந்தமா பாதிக்கப்பட்டிருக்காரு. This is on penalties. DK Shivakumar. Okay, DK Shivakumar. Can prosecution be launched in every case where unaccounted transaction like unaccounted? Hello. Can prosecution be launched in every case where unaccounted transaction like unaccounted loan or unearthed during search, irrespective of whether there is a liability to pay tax penalty? Okay, இது அந்த willfully எதுவும் வரும். The gist of offense under 276C. The willful offense to pay evade any tax, penalty or interest chargeable or imposable to income. What is made punishable is attempt to evade tax, penalty or interest. In legal parlance, an attempt is understood to mean an act or movement towards commission or intended crime. It is doing something in the direction. A positive act on the part of the accused is required to be established to bring home a charge under that. There is no presumption under the law that every unaccounted transaction will lead to imposition of tax, penalty or interest. Therefore, until and unless it is determined that there was a mens rea, you cannot prosecute. Prosecution can only be doing mens rea. That is, you should prove beyond doubt that he has willfully done this particular act. $271C இது வந்து important because of interpretation. 271C penalty if you don't remit TDS. Deducte பண்ணலனா 271C கிடையாதா? Then also you can. It's a coinage mistake adu. Okay, can penalty be levied for non-remittance of tax deducted at source to the guy? So far as failure on the part of the assessee to remit the tax recovered is concerned, there cannot be any justifying circumstance for delay in remittance because the assessee cannot divert the tax. Thus, the defense available does not cover failure in payment of recovered tax, even if it is non-deduction of tax at source and non-remittance, both would be attracted. Okay, what goes to the government should go to the government. Okay, if you have not recovered also, it goes to the government. Okay, last case of recent times is pendency of dispute resolution under okay MAP, a valid ground for waiver of interest. MAP na I have gone for the arbitration, international arbitration. Okay, international arbitration, I have gone for an arbitration, so don't levy interest. Is it a valid ground? No. The Supreme Court observed that merely raising the dispute before the authority cannot be a ground not to levy interest. Otherwise, every assessee will keep raising the grounds. So that cannot be the reason. There should be a will again. Depending upon the case only, the immunity will be offered. Okay. These are all some of the recent case law. எனக்கு என்னமோ அந்த ரிவ்யூ வந்து ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் கேஸ் லவா படுது மனசுல பிகாஸ் it is a assessee favorable judgment also, so there is a more possibility of being questioned. Okay, PGBP capital gains case law we have seen in the classroom itself. Okay, it will take half an hour time to go through this case law material. Quickly you can browse through whenever time permits. If you are not very understanding a particular case law, you can voice note me, I will definitely explain it to you. But PGBP la Apex Laboratories அது வந்து இப்ப recent times. Okay, இதை தவிர one amendment which I have not included as a question is in the amendment lectures but unfortunately I record பண்ண முடியல என்னால. Now there was a retrospective amendment. Surcharge and HEC people were claiming. There was a retrospective amendment saying that no surcharge and HEC is not allowed, and 2003 onwards it was a retrospective amendment. They were given time till 31/3/23 as a CA. நானே வந்து என்னோட ரிட்டர்ன் அமெண்ட் பண்ணிட்டேன்னா I need not pay any penalty. I myself amend my return saying in the past years I claimed the surcharge and HEC. Now I understand I cannot claim it. So I myself amend my return and pay the taxes, no penalty. Otherwise, after 31/3/23, if a assessing officer takes up the case, penalty will be levied. Okay, that is one other thing. Other than that, I don't think there is any amendments, etc. We will meet day after tomorrow morning to complete the last part of it. That is the last 15 questions, which is consisting of international taxation, 5 from transfer pricing, 5 from non-resident taxation, 3 from நம்மளோட இது DTAA, 1 from advance ruling and 1 from and the tax in the GAAR. I want to just touch upon GAAR and complete it. Okay, meet you day after tomorrow morning at 6:30 in the morning itself. We will meet so that by 11:30, 12 we can wind up, and that will be more than sufficient for to take up the examination. Meanwhile, as our friends were telling, நீங்க எந்த மெட்டீரியல் வேணா எடுத்து சும்மா பாருங்க. இந்த 2 நாள்ல டைம் இருந்ததுன்னா anything you can see, and if you have some doubt, bring it to my notice. I will try to explain you. All the best, friends.
So,